Buddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Pay homage to the Blessed One. Dear friends, today I would like to deliver Dhamma talk, dependent origination. So this sutta is very deep. So when you attain the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, the base of infinite space, the base of infinite consciousness, then you will see the link of dependent origination. So when you attain that stage, okay? So when the Buddha attained enlightenment, so after attaining enlightenment, about 7 days, he could see how dependent origination is arising, passing away. So I think you already recited a few times here when you came here. Avijja passaya sankara. Sankara bhachaya vijnana. So because of ignorance, formation arises. Because of formations, consciousness arises. Do you remember that? Right? So this sutta is a little bit deep, but you have to pay attention very carefully. I'll try to explain as much as I can, okay? So, thus have I heard on one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jata's group. This is the place where the Buddha delivered Dhamma talk, another Pindika spark. There the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus thus, "Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir," those bhikkhus replied. So bhikkhus means what? Monk. The Blessed One said this, "Bhikkhus, I will teach you dependent origination. Listen to that and attend closely, I will speak." "Yes, Venerable Sir," those bhikkhus replied. The Blessed One said this, "Bhikkhus, what is dependent origination?" So he asked himself, he questioned himself, and now he is going to answer. With ignorance as condition, formations comes to be. With formations as condition, consciousness comes to be. With consciousness as condition, name and form come to be. So here, with ignorance as condition. So what does it mean, ignorance? First we have to understand that ignorance. Ignorance means one who doesn't understand the Four Noble Truths. Number one, suffering. Number two, origin of suffering. Number three, cessation of suffering. And number four, the path that leads to the cessation of suffering. How many altogether? 4. So these are called Four Noble Truths. So when one doesn't understand the Four Noble Truths, we say ignorance. Wisdom didn't arise. Okay? So when wisdom arises in their mind, then he overcome, he destroy the ignorance. Ignorance will not arise anymore. Got it? Right? So, formations. With ignorance as condition, formations come to be. So formations means we create the formations bodily formation. There are 3 kinds of formation actually. Bodily formations and verbally formations and mentally formations. So because of the ignorance, formation comes to be. So formation we create 3 ways. Bodily, verbally and mentally. That is called the formation. Then With the formation as condition, consciousness comes to me. We say in Pali, vinyana. Avijja passaya sankara. Sankara passaya vinyana. Vinyana means consciousness. Consciousness comes to be. With consciousness as condition, name and form comes to be. So name means here mind. Form means form. Okay? So we call in Pali Nama Rupa. And then with name and form as condition, the six sense basis comes to be. So what are the six sense bases? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. How many altogether? Six. So six sense basis comes to be. With the six sense basis as condition, contact come to be. Okay, so when you touch like this, then contact come to be. Right? So those things you experience through the meditation. And then with the contact as condition, feeling come to be. So feeling, there are three kinds of feeling. Sukha Vedana, pleasant feeling. Dukkha Vedana, painful feeling. And na dukkha, na sukha Vedana is called neutral feeling. You got it? Three. So three kinds of feeling here. That's why the Buddha said, with condition, with contact as condition, feeling come to be. So when you touch it, then you see the feeling will arise. Is it pleasant feeling, or painful feeling, or neutral feeling? So when you meditate long time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, okay, painful feeling arise. So this is meditation pain. So when you meditate, you are in the first jhana, second jhana, and your meditation is going very well, comfortable. Sometimes you feel so light. Your mind and body, you feel so clear. This is happy feeling, pleasant feeling. So after 1 and 2 hours, then your backbone pain arise. I didn't want that. Do any meditator want that? No. This is painful feeling. I don't want it. And then neutral feeling. So when somebody attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana, their mind so balanced. So balanced. And they feel neutral feeling, that moment, When they are a little bit unbalanced, that time you have to use the harmonious practice. So what are the harmonious practice? Do you remember? Recognize it.
Release it?
Yeah.
Recognize.
You didn't memorize it, right? Recognize it, release it, relax tension and tightness in your head, in your full body and mind. And then bring up the wholesome thought by a smile. So more you smile, the more wholesome thought will arise in your mind. And then keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. So this is the harmonious practice. So from tonight you have to memorize it, okay? Because I have asked many times that one. So two things you have to keep in your mind. One is the 5 hindrances, and another one is the harmonious practice. So what are the 5 hindrances?
Anxiety, doubt, restlessness, sensual
Desire.
And
the last one. So you have to say according to order.
okay.
Number 1, sensual desire. Number 2, aversion or hatred. Number 3, sleepiness and dullness. Number 4, restlessness and anxiety. Number 5, doubt. So 5 are called 5 hindrances. And the harmonious practice, number 1, recognize it. Number 2, release it. Don't pay attention there because this is unwholesome, right? And number 3, relax. Tension and tightness in your head. You will see the tension will rise in your head, the whole body. Just relax it. Take the relaxed system. Not only in your head, the whole body and mind, right? And then bring up the wholesome thought in your mind, because the Buddha said, bring up the wholesome thought all the time. When you meditate, when you practice sitting meditation, walking meditation, all the time, stay with the wholesome thought. So how will you bring your wholesome thought? Smile. So more you smile, more wholesome thought will arise in your mind. Your mind will be so light, clear, pure. Right? And then keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. So this is the process, okay? So when any hindrances arise, you recognize it, release it, relax tension and tightness, bring up the wholesome thought by smiling, and keep the wholesome thought as long as you can. That's all. Right? So here, with the 6 sense bases as condition, the contact comes to be. With the contact as conditions, feeling comes to be. With the feeling as condition, craving comes to be. So what is the meaning of the craving?
A want for something?
The craving means I like it, I don't like it, mine. So when sensual desire arises in my mind, I like it, I want to get it. So you are feeling it, right? And then your craving is increasing. So when a meditator knows this is no good for me, this is not good for meditator, right? So when you know it, so you are not feeling it, right? Just let it be. You use the harmonious practice, let it go. So you feel craving, you are not going to allow craving to rise in your mind. Right? So I like it and I don't like it, mine. So when hatred rises in your mind, I don't like it because this is painful. When you meditate, the hatred rises in your mind. No, I don't want it. So that's why you see, I like it and I don't like it. Mine is called craving. Does it make sense? Clear? Right? And then, with craving as condition, clinging comes to be. Clinging is more stronger than craving. So if you stop arising craving, clinging cannot arise. Okay? So I'll talk about later on. With a clinginess condition, existent comes to be. With existence as condition, birth comes to be. With the birth at conditions, aging and death, sorrow, lamentations, pain, displeasure and despair comes to be. Such is the origin of this whole match of suffering, because this is called dependent origination. So this is the origin of suffering. The Buddha talked about here, one is the origin of suffering, another one is the passing away of suffering. So the first one is the origin of suffering. Now he's going to talk about the passing away of suffering. So how can you understand the suffering? Ignorance is not arising in my mind, formation is not arising in my mind, consciousness is not rising in my mind, and then the rest of things, the 12 kinds of link of different originations. So he said here, but with the remainderless fading away and cessation of ignorance comes cessation of formation. With the cessation of formations, cessation of consciousness. So that means when ignorance arises in your mind, then you know this is not good for a meditator. So you just use the harmonious practice, let it go, then it will not rise anymore. Okay? Then if ignorance doesn't arise, formation will not arise. If formation will not arise, consciousness will not rise. If consciousness will not rise, name and form will not rise. Okay? And if name and form will not rise, the sixth sense basis will not rise. And if sixth sense basis will not rise, then contact will not rise. If the feeling will not rise, then craving will not rise. So here one thing we have to understand, when a meditator from ignorance to contact, this is very, very subtle to understand. Most of the meditators they cannot experience, they cannot understand. So from ignorance to contact, even though they are practicing meditation very well, but when craving arises, then they wake up. This is craving. They know I like it, I don't like it, mine. So when they use the harmonious practice that time, then clinging cannot arise. So if clinging cannot arise, then existence will not arise. If existence will not arise, then birth will not arise. If no birth, no aging, no death, no lamentation, no sorrow, no pain, no displeasure, and no despair, everything ceases. Then you attain Nibbana. Got it? So this is cessation. So here the Buddha explained, with the cessation of formation, cessation of consciousness, with the cessation of consciousness, the cessation of name and form, with the cessation of name and form, the cessation of six sense basis, with the cessation of the six sense basis, the cessation of contact, with the cessation of contact, the cessation of feeling, with the cessation of feeling, the cessation of craving, with the cessation of craving, the cessation of clinging, with the cessation of clinging, the cessation of existence, with the cessation of existence, the cessation of birth, with the cessation of birth, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair cease. That means you attain Nibbana, the highest peace. You destroy greed, hatred, delusion. Wisdom arose in your mind. That means no need to come anymore in the world. Your birth is gone. Okay? Such is the cessation of this whole match of suffering. This is what the Blessed One said. Elated. Elated means those monks were very happy. And those bhikkhus delighted in the Blessed One's statement. So this is the dependent origination. You understand? So this is very deep actually, dependent origination. So when the meditator come here, at the beginning, do you remember one time the Daryu came and then he was asking to explain the dependent origination? And I told him, I'm not going to teach you right now because you are not ready. Dependent origination is so deep. And I told him that try to attain the first jhana first. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. When you become the advanced meditator, then I am going to explain. Otherwise you will not understand, you know. Do you remember when he came here and he was asking a lot of questions? Then I told him, that, okay, no, I'm not going to teach you deep origination right now. Because you are not ready now. Try to attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. So, what is the meaning of the jhana? You should ask the questions to me, but I'm now. I'm asking you. What is the meaning of the jhana?
I'm pretty sure it's like a stage of meditation.
Exactly, a state of meditation. And how many kinds of jhana?
4 jhanas.
4 jhana. What are they?
The first jhana is
And how will I understand right in the first jhana? What is the characteristic of the first jhana? Because I want you to understand all the stages of jhana very clearly. If you meditate at home, then you will understand yourself. Now I got the first jhana. So when you know all the characteristics of the first jhana, then you will understand yourself. No need to come here and ask me. Because the Sutta is very clear what they explain. So that's why I want you to know, to keep in your mind what is the characteristic of the first jhana. He is practicing meditation here, and then the coming Sunday will be 8 days. So when I was explaining jhana, the meaning of the jhana, the 4 kinds of jhana, what is the characteristic of the first jhana? He noted, and he asked me, but what is the characteristic of first jhana? Thinking and examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind. How many?
4.
5.
Oh, 5.
Thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind. Savitaka, thinking thought. Savichara,
Right.
now thinking and examining thought. Examining, savichara. And piti, joy, happiness, sukha, and ekaggata, unification of mind. How many are together?
5.
5. So when the 5 hindrances will not arise in your mind, and thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind will arise in your mind, then you get the first jhana. Does it make sense? Clear?
So thinking thought,
Examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind.
unification of mind.
So how many factors there? 5. So 5 factors will be present, and then 5 hindrances will be absent. Sensual desire, hatred or aversion, sleepiness and dullness, restlessness, anxiety, and doubt. These 5 hindrances will not arise in your mind. Then thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind arise in your mind, then you got a first jhana. Understand? Not sure.
No, I understand.
Okay, so how do you understand second jhana? When you are radiating loving kindness to yourself, remember a time when you were happy, when you were talking with your friend. So you smile with your friend, right? First, you smiled with your friend. That happy feeling, the brain at the center of your chest, when you feel warm and glowing feel in the center of your chest, then you make wish. May I be happy. So 10 minutes you have to radiate loving kindness to yourself. May I be happy. May I be calm. You see, your radiation will go to yourself slowly. So you have to feel it. These meditations, one thing you have to feel it, feeling, and another one is you have to smile. Many people come here. when they enter this center, they look very angry. Their face look full of anger. And I ask them, hello, how are you? I am fine. And when I teach them, when I tell them you have to smile here all the time, because this is a smile meditation. And they say, that little bit of smiling coming from this. You know. So after practicing 30 minutes talk, 30 minutes practice, and before leaving, one day I am leaving now. Big smile rise in his mind. You know. So that's why this meditation, feeling and a smile. So when you radiate loving kindness to yourself, you must feel it, how your radiation is going to you. Okay? And second thing, keep smiling all the time. Even though when you are practicing sitting meditation and smile in the walking meditation. So when you practice walking meditation, you walk normal pace, okay? Normal pace. Then you start radiating loving kindness to your spiritual friend. So 10 minutes to yourself, and this meditation not less than 30 minutes. Even though when you practice at your home, you must practice 30 minutes, not less than 30 minutes. Remember it, okay? So if you practice 5 minutes enough, no, I don't want to practice. You will not experience anything. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, no. At least 30 minutes and more. So you will start, the beginning sitting will be 30 minutes, then 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But I don't recommend more than 4 hours because I cannot sit more than 4 hours. I can sit only 4 hours. So if you can sit about 4 hours, then you'll see your meditation go deeper, deeper and deeper. Then you can see dependent origination very clearly. How the dependent origination rising and passing away, rising and passing away, rising and passing away. So when you attain the base of infinite consciousness, you'll see one snap of the finger, 100,000 consciousness rising and passing away, rising and passing away, rising and passing away. So that moment you'll experience that there is no control. There is no control. I cannot control anything here. Wow. You see? Rising, passing away. Everything is impermanent. What is impermanent is suffering. There is no self. Impersonal. Anicca, impermanent. Dukkha, suffering. Anatta, impersonal. Because there is no control, you experience that moment. Alright? So, then you'll see how dependent origination, the link of dependent origination. So when your mind is very sharp, then you will be able to see the link of dependent origination. There are 12 kinds of here, the link of dependent origination. Avijja, pasaya, sankhara. From ignorance to the, despair. So it's called 12 dependent, the link of dependent origination. You will be able to see rising, passing away, rising, passing away. When you stop, ignorance should not arise, formation will not arise. When formation will not arise, consciousness will not arise. So it's like this. Then you will see everything cease, then you attain Nibbana. So these are the four different origination sutta for today. Do you have a question?
I have a question about meditation.
Not about this sutta. That means you understand this sutta, right?
It's like linked. It's linked.
Okay. What do you want to ask?
So
Actually, I don't allow when somebody asks out of the topic. But for your case, so let's see.
So when it comes to dependent origination and understanding dependent origination, how should you meditate to understand a fraction of dependent origination, to start to understand dependent origination?
As I said, when you, I teach loving kindness meditations. When you practice loving kindness meditation, then you'll see you attain through the loving kindness. You attain loving kindness to yourself, to your spiritual friend, 20 minutes or more than that. Then you attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. You will be the advanced meditator at that time, right? So after attaining the fourth jhana, then you're feeling from the center of your chest to go to the top of your head. You experience that, you feel that. Then you will be the advanced meditator that time. So when you become advanced meditator, then I'll change your meditations. You cannot practice anymore to yourself and to your spiritual friend, because you have to radiate loving kindness 5 minutes to forward, 1 quarter, and then 5 minutes backward, second quarter, and 5 minutes left side, third quarter, 5 minutes right side, fourth quarter, and 5 minutes above, 5 minutes below, and then all directions. So when you radiate loving kindness all direction, then your meditation will change automatically loving kindness to the compassion. And then when you radiate compassion, the 6th direction, and then all direction, then again that moment you'll experience there is no form, only mind.
Then you'll understand dependent origination.
Now when you attain from that stage is called the base of infinite space, compassion meditation, karuna. So when you radiate forward, backward, left side, right side, above, below, compassion meditation, then your meditation again change from compassion to joy, mudita. That stage, you will see very clearly the dependent origination. When your mind is very sharp. But if your mind is not sharp, you will not be able to see that. I already explained 2 times, but you couldn't catch it.
So, is dependent origination, is it infinite? So, is there, like, I heard you mention a couple of things, a couple of chains of dependent origination, but how far does dependent origination go?
When you practice, you'll know. Because when you practice, then you'll see. That's why I take interview every day. When people come here for 8 days retreat, because I have to see every morning at 9 a.m. Then how far, how close, you'll tell me. I'm not going to tell you. You see, many teachers, they say, okay, well, you now attain Sotapanna, the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, the base of infinite space, the base of infinite consciousness, the base of nothingness, the base of neither perception nor non-perception, the path of streamentra, the fruition of streamentra, the path of one returner, the fruition of one returner, the path of non-returner, the fruition of non-returner, the path of highest peace arahant, the fruition of highest peace arahant. So some teacher will tell you, now you become Sotapanna. I never said that. Because you are practitioner, I'll explain from the sutta one by one what the Buddha said. You experience it here, and then you have to tell me. I am not going to tell you. This is my way. So what you said, how far is it? I don't know. Because when you practice, dependent on people. So different people have different experience. My experience one thing, and another, his experience another thing, and your experience another thing. So who knows? We don't know that. So if you, before practicing, if you want to get it, if you ask Bhante, could you tell me how about the heaven? Is it beautiful? Or more beautiful than a human world? I don't know. I have to go there first. So then I can, when I go there, I'll talk with the deities, Deva, then I'll come back here, then I'll tell you. So Deva look more beautiful than human world. You know, they are very happy people. So then when I'll come back, Stephen, you can come at Brahma Vihara. I can tell you about the Deva Loka. So do you want to go? Then you say, yeah, I want to go there. Okay, any more question?
So, how does dependent origination play into rebirth and the non-self?
Rebirth, when, as I said, when cessation of rebirth, cessation of birth, that means no rebirth.
No, I mean, so for example, dependent, what is rebirth dependent on?
You see, when you have the craving, attachment, greed, hatred, delusion, that means you reborn again. If no greed, no hatred, no delusion. Delusion means here for one who doesn't understand Four Noble Truths. Ignorance and delusion, same meaning. Just English different. The different word. Delusion and ignorance, the same meaning. So when you destroy the greed, the hatred and delusion, you will not reborn anymore. Because you attain Nibbana, you become Arahant that time. So when you attain non-returner, the path of non-returner, Anagami, the fruition of non-returner, so that time you will destroy two things, greed and hatred. The hatred never arises, the greed never arises, but delusion is still there. Little bit delusion is still there. So because of that, you reborn one more time in the Brahma world, Suddhavasa. And that place, that stage, you'll get Nibbana. So when you can overcome the greed, hatred, delusion, these three things together, then you'll attain Arahant. No more rebirth. So one of my friends from Chicago, I teach him online actually. Before he called me, when he has a lot of questions, he asks me. He said, Bhante, I don't want to reborn anymore. I didn't want to reborn anymore in this world. I didn't want to come. So I told him, okay, try to attain Nibbana. He said, yes, I am practicing every day, even though I am now more than 80 years old. So I am trying to attain Nibbana because I don't want to come back here anymore. So if you want, please practice because you are very young. You didn't finish your college, right? You have potential to get it. Because you are still young. Right? So any more question? If no more question, we can share the merit. No more question, right? Okay. We can share the merit right now. So then I will practice about 30 minutes. Then when you leave, then I have to give the talk to him in Bengali. The same Sutta actually, dependent origination. So I talk now in English and then I gave for him in Bengali, right? Okay, let us share the merit. Okay, please share merit together. May suffering ones be suffering free and the fear strike fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share in this merit of ours. May the Lord protect the Buddha's dispensations. Sadhu, sadhu.